Alright, Bob's got another counterspell. He gets to counterspell a drain. If he doesn't get the rest in the meantime.
Bob's really hoping that after he says go, Brian will reach over and draw a card.
Train life you for 3.
It's smart not to use the ritual. He knew Bob's just going to counterspell. He's saving the ritual to sink into the next drain after he runs Bob out of counter magic. It's a good play. This kid can play. The more I think about that first game against Raphael Levy, the more impressed I am with the way Brian Davis played it. He locked Raphael Levy under his own Winter Orb, and he saw it coming from turn 4. He just played the entire game. Raphael Levy sitting there waiting for the Winter Orb to get disked away, saving stuff back so he can win after the disc blows up. Brian Davis just won the game with untapped disc in play.
Right. Well, the only problem here is that Brian does need to get some more life back. He's lost a lot of life from the necropotence.
Yeah.
Brainstorm. Okay.
So interesting.
He has corrupt and drain in his
brainstorm.
hand, though, right?
The counterspell
He
here
needs
would be
counter.
big.
That's
Oh,
big.
that's huge.
Does he still have 2 blue?
That is huge.
What are
I
his
mean-
land? He's got Wasteland. He had to tap Tropical Island for that.
Right. It
What is
gets duressed away, but
Oh, he can see. He can just keep the Tundra. Can't tell if that's a Savannah in play. Then Bob needs to play Tundra. Yeah, it's a Savannah, so he probably keeps Tundra counterspell and plays the Tundra, right?
Right. That's right.
You're good.
This would be really big if.
Brian should duress here.
Right.
I mean, it just brainstormed. He's got to know that Bob's card is decent. Yeah, there's the duress. That'll get counterspell. Now he's got a corrupt in his hand. Ritual corrupt or ritual drain. 3, 4,
That's
5,
correct.
6.
Training for 4.
Or drain for 4.
Drain for 4.
Yep.
That's probably better. Now, presumably, he'll come up with a swamp and be able to. He still has a consult in his hand, right?
Yeah.
Why hasn't he consulted for swamp?
Maybe saving it to consult for something else, figuring he'll draw swamps in the necropotence.
Unstep.
Yeah, but I mean, all his drains and all his corrupts would be bigger if he had another swamp.
Yeah, he didn't draw swamp.
He did get a wasteland, which will allow him to cast the corrupt.
Right.
But it's a corrupt for 5, where it should be a corrupt for 6.
Go ahead.
But he can still consult for swamp, and well, then he can't corrupt.
Well, while this game 1 may be a preview of the games to come, I don't think Davis will consistently get off as fast as he did.
Certainly not.
So, for those of you rooting for Bob, don't lose heart just yet.
And Bob has Compost in his sideboard. Compost is amazing against the free spell Necro deck.
Okay.
Bob brainstorms his response. Saw an extra card. It was blue. Yeah, he takes the impulse. So now he can impulse his response, but I don't think he has enough mana left. I think it's Arcane Denial. Does he have Arcane Denial? Does he have a U1 counter that he can use here as an option? Oh, it's still, yeah.
Sylvan Library.
So none of that helps. He'll take the Sylvan just because it might allow him to get back into the game.
Resolves. Okay.
But the drain resolves.
Oh, you mean drain resolves?
So Sylvan will get in play, I think. I don't think he's got a way to remove it from his hand, in his hand right now.
It's now Davis 6, Maher 12. Brian will draw some more cards. And Bob will certainly play Sylvan Library here. I think Brian should probably then disc it away. There's one swamp.
Go ahead.
Bob needs to draw a Gaia's Blessing. That's the main card to draw.
That one's not bad. It's not great. He's got 5 land in play, so he can counter a drain potentially, but
Yeah,
but no, there's Wasteland on
yeah,
Brian's side of the
if
board.
If Brian is conservative about
Bob's nonchalantly go ahead, trying to play possum, trying to look dead. Brian should waste something, waste one of the blue mana, and then corrupt, right?
Yeah, that's right. No, he didn't. And he's gonna get it first.
What's that?
Yes, Force of Will.
What was that? Bob Maher, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that was, I think, the first mistake we've seen from Brian Davis.
We're not
Guy
missing
doesn't
something
make
this time,
mistakes very often. That was just a very clear instance where he should have wastelanded. but he's probably not going to get too penalized as long as he can consult for something to give him some life.
Yeah.
But that
What's
was...
he used? He's used 2 drains and a corrupt?
Yeah, I think so. Now he can...
He gets his draw phase back, too.
right.
Okay.
Bob's going to play Sylvan, presumably. And now Davis should disc away the Sylvan and the Necro, right?
That's what I think. Yeah, he needs to get his draw phase
His other
back.
option is to use a consult.
I mean, this is insane. When you think about how
You know, he
large a
removed another
start
corrupt
Davis
from the
got
game, too.
and where we're at right now, this is just really nuts. I mean, how many people really thought Bob had a chance in this game when you look at the first like 2 or 3 turns that Davis had? All right, there's a couple of people raising their hand, but not too many. And I think those of you that are lying.
There's 1 corrupt removed from the game, and there's a corrupt and 2 drains in the graveyard, if my memory serves. Is it? It's not 3 drains in the graveyard, is it? It might be 3 drains.
Yeah, this boy.
So those consults are really risky.
I love these shots. You get to look at Davis. He's going, what the hell just happened?
Why? Davis sporting a competitor shirt in the top 8.
He's reviewing his turn 1. I unmasked, I cast Dark Ritual Necropotence, then I dumped Bob Maher's hand. Why am I still playing this game? This is really where you gotta have composure, step back, think, okay, I gotta win. I have to win.
Yeah, he knows he should have wastelanded too. He had to, as soon as that Force of Will came out, Bob tapped out for Force of Will. He has to have known that he should have wasted.
While the match gets very different after sideboarding, the first game is always a huge game to determine momentum.
Sure.
And if after this start Maher wins, all the momentum's got to be in Maher's favor, especially after the easy way that Davis handled Levy in the semis, and relatively easy way he handled the Englishman in the top 8.
I'll blow this.
Yeah,
He
there it
blows the
is.
disc.
He gets his draw phase back.